Hello. You're here, Jamie. Hey, Antasar. Let me address this comment now. Oh no, what's happening? Close you. Hello, hello, hello. What day is it today? Monday. Happy Monday. Hi, Cherise. Hi, D. Cliffy. Man, I had my whole thing set up all nice and stuff. I messed it up. Hold on. It's been a minute since we've had one of our chats. I know. I'm here to explain. I'm here to explain. Yes, I'm okay. So, Sahara, you said sending all the peace and healing energy. Thank you. Let me explain. Hi, Anastasia. Hey, Marcel. Hi, Layla. So last week I was supposed to go live, right? Your girl broke out in tears. I was supposed to go live and I had an emotional breakdown and I was like, I cannot be crying on YouTube. Not again. I refuse. I've never been able to make it, but glad. Oh, yay. Well, I don't know if this is the content you want to tune into because typically on Monday Lives, we either talk about my emotions, my dating life, or some random television BS. So, yeah. Oh, miss you too, Paulina. Okay. So, the reason why I had an emotional breakdown, adulting is hard and it's stupid and it's involuntary, and I feel like I want a refund. Here is why. Most of you guys know I live by myself, right? But I've kind of been by myself for a while. So I left my parents' home to go to university, and then I left university to move across the country, and then I left that province to the province that I'm currently in right now. I had been on the phone with my mom for maybe like 2 hours or something, just catching up. We hadn't spoken in weeks, right? And you guys know how much I love my mother. And then I wanted to talk to somebody really close to me. And like, for some reason, we kept missing each other. And me, I'm an overthinker. So if I'm trying to get in contact with you and I know that you see my messages, or I know that you can get in contact with me, you just are choosing not to, I'm like, oh, you hate me. You hate me. That's what's happening here. They hate me, right? And so and so I was going through that, and then two of my friends, it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like they planned this elaborate trip without me. They wanted to go, well, one friend wanted to go to Jamaica. She told us we had the option of tagging along. I couldn't tag along, but the other one did. And I was just like, huh. In my adult life, this is the loneliest I have ever felt. And they don't tell you this about adulthood. You know, there's this press for, oh, I was trying to say pressure. It's both. It's a press and a pressure for companionship. And the older I get it. Because at least if I had a partner, it'd be like, okay, I have my person. But I don't have a partner, right? All of my friends live in different cities. Nowhere close. The closest friend around me is an hour away. And she lives in the same province, but like an hour away, right? And then my parents are in a different continent. My brothers are across the country. I work from home. I don't have colleagues. Like it was really messing with my head, and I was like, you know what, let me not. I know it's a YouTube community. I know y'all love me. I love y'all right back. But if I break out in tears on this YouTube, I will never forgive myself. Hi, Nanya. Hi, Naturally Bar. Hey, Lily. And Crazy Homebody. Yeah, so I also, how y'all liking the new setup? You know, I changed my little chat configuration. I think it's cute, if you ask me. Yeah, anyways. So, one thing about adulting that I wish I knew was that loneliness is persistent. I tell you guys, it's not like I don't talk to people. Like, I talk to people, but it was never enough. It could never supplement the lack of human connection, right? And so I'd be like, oh, Elaine, you're fine. Push it to the next day. It's coming back. Oh, Elaine, you're fine. Push it to the next day. And then it just kept piling up, piling up, piling up. And then last week, Tuesday, I think somebody was supposed to call me. They told me they'd call me by the end of the day. And when they didn't, just the thought of it, I broke down. It was it. That was the straw. I was the caramel and I was broke. So sorry you're going through. Listen. I'm sharing this to share that if you're feeling it, you're not alone. I don't want to, and I know you're not giving me sympathy, Entisar. You're truly just trying to relate with me. I just want to make it clear. I'm not sharing this because it's a sob story. I've always been a person to share my stories. Y'all know my depression. Y'all know my sexual assault. Y'all know my life, right? So I want to share to remind people that if you're going through it, it's normal. Other people are also going through it. I'm just one of the crazy people who's going to talk about it. But let me finish. Oh, it was Layla. Sorry, I called out the wrong person. Sorry you're going through this. E sounds incredibly lonely and frustrating. Have you considered moving or at the very least get an out-of-home job? I really like what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I don't like working with people. The loneliness for me, it was more so like a culmination of all the things at once. So the person who I wanted to talk to, who I haven't been able to talk to for a month, my friends going to Jamaica together, my mom being out of the country, my brothers being on the other side of the country, me being at home, like it's not that I don't like my life. It's just when all those things were happening simultaneously, then I was like, oh my gosh, goodness gracious, this is a lot. So yeah, that's all. You love the blue? Yay, I want to, yeah, I like it too. I do. I feel you. I've had those moments myself. Yeah. I love it, but I'm biased. I love blue. Hi, Fusion. I've been feeling that way ever since the Yes. Oh, ever since the pandemic. Also have crying sessions every now and again. Thank you for sharing. Not easy to do. Thank you, D. Cliffy. I mean, I'm a very open person, probably to a fault. So it doesn't pain me to share. I just knew if I was to share in the midst of the emotion, I could turn out to be like those crazy girls on the internet. We're not trying to. Never that. But the pandemic, and to sorry you're bringing it up, I was never a homebody. That is not my natural disposition at all. From the time my mom told me when I was younger, so I have an older sister. She's really my cousin, but she was raised as my sister. As soon as like I was born, I was her child. And so when we would go to church, when we would go anywhere, I would always be with her. She would parade me around to other people. I was a jovial kid. I was a social kid from birth, right? So being social your whole life and then the world shutting down, I tell you guys, it felt like an out-of-body experience. So much so, did I share about me passing out? I did. There's a whole video on that where I wasn't eating. And I didn't even realize I wasn't eating. And the interesting thing about me not eating is back when I was depressed in university, my go-to was actually to eat. And as I get older, when I feel depressed or when I'm feeling really low, my instinct is not to eat. And I don't realize it until it's almost like too late, right? So it's a funny story, not like haha, but I don't know, it's funny to me. So I was on the phone with my friend Denisha, and I was like, dang, I really should probably eat something today. I hadn't eaten the whole day. Did I eat the day before? I don't even know, to be honest with you. And I was like, let me eat like a proper meal. So as I'm cooking, I'm looking at her on the phone and I'm like, I'm getting dizzy. She's like, Elaine, you should probably sit down. I was like, yeah, I should sit down. I sit down. I was like, nope, I gotta lay down or I'm gonna fall out of I'm gonna fall out of this chair. And I lay down. And what typically happens to me when I'm like passing out, oh, this sounds so bad. Oh my god, somebody's gonna call the crisis helpline for me. This sounds so bad. When I'm like there, my eyes kind of go dark. It's hard for me to hear. I need to feel something cold. Like, I guess the sensation of something cold brings back your senses. I don't know. But hi, Iona. Iona? Lona? I can't tell if that's an I or an L. But hey, either way. When it got to that point, I was like, Elaine, do something about this, because this is not okay. You're letting yourself get to a place where, I've seen what depressed Elaine looks like. It's not cute. She's not a happy person. She doesn't like being social. She doesn't like going outside. She doesn't like to eat. Like, she don't do nothing. She don't lose weight though. That's something she could work on. If you gonna not eat, at least lose weight. Oh my gosh. But seeing myself get close to that point again, I was like, nah, get it together, sis. And hence me telling the story. Hey, Alexis, we're here just for you, boo. Feeling that way too, my friends, and I outgrew each other, took different paths, and it's incredibly lonely. It really can be. It's not easy. Can't wait to escape for a vacation. Oh, you have no idea. And that's why the Jamaica thing really made me sad, because I was like, I need Jamaica. I need that. And I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It didn't work in my budget. That's life. That's okay. I need to learn how to save. Yeah, the panorama has done a number on everyone. I had a friend who felt that way, and I didn't know how to help or reach that peak of human connection. It's really tough. How would you want someone to show up for you in those times? Okay, so here's another thing for why I haven't shared, because this is the first time that I'm talking about it. I'm the kind of person who feels like, even though I know this isn't true, I feel like when my friends are going through things that I would deem as more serious than what I'm going through, I don't want to burden them with my petty issues, right? So I had a friend who her dad went to the emergency room. My other friend, her dad is recovering from something else. My other friend has a husband and kid and works crazy hours. The friend who is in the same city, this I told her, she has 3 kids. And she was like, oh, when am I going to see you again? And I was like, yo, low-key, I didn't want to say anything because, you have a life and stuff, and I don't want to be that pestering person, right? So because I feel like my issues are not as great as issues as theirs, I tend to keep it to myself. And like I said, loneliness is persistent, right? But I have this mentality of like, oh, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And for sure, for a little bit, I'll be fine. And then it comes back and hits me and I'm like, right. I'm still not okay. So in terms of a solution, if your friends are overthinkers, if you know this, that they're overthinkers, a random check-in, honestly. My cousin does that a lot. And I say it irritates me, but deep down it really does make me feel good. But just like hey, it's been a minute. How's everybody doing? Are we good? Are we not good? Doesn't matter how big or small. Let's talk about it, right? Because sometimes that person just needs the reassurance that because it's big to you, it's big enough. It doesn't need to be bigger than mine. If it's big to you, it's big enough. Let me say that. I'm missing some comments here. Oh my gosh, that's so mean. I used to eat as a coping mechanism, but now I barely put food down. Yeah. Food used to be my coping, but what I'm realizing too is I don't really associate food with sustenance. I associate food with happiness. So when I'm getting sad, I don't eat because I'm not happy. I don't know if that makes sense, but I already said it, so you better make it make sense in your head. That happens to me when I get overheat. Yup, that happens to me too. I passed out just last summer. Last summer, I passed out like 3 times. Okay. Never almost passed out for lack of food, but from hot shower, yeah, that used to happen to me too when I was younger. They got humid, the hot humid atmosphere. I see strobe lights before I pass. Me too. Yeah. And I used to take crazy hot showers. Now I take cold showers just because in a weird way they're comforting for I don't know. I don't know. I think it started my last trip to Zim and like you have to heat your water and I just got tired of doing that. So now I just take colder showers. My body just got used to it. But yeah, it's like oddly comforting for me. I understand. In the span of 1 year, I had a new baby and all my close friends moved away, one to Maryland, one to Florida, and the other to New York. Whew. Man, yeah. But see, yeah. No, that's exactly it. I didn't have a baby, but that's exactly it. I'm itching to go somewhere this summer as long as COVID don't get crazy again. I heard cases are rising again. I know they're rising, but honestly, every time I've taken a trip, whether it's a road trip or I had to go on a plane, it has refreshed me in ways that are greater than my fear for the risk. So I'm with you. I'm hoping to be in Philly in June for the Roots picnic. And then also one of my really close friends lives in Philly. And I haven't seen her since just before the pandemic. Yeah. Quick question. What made you move to the area you're living in now, just being so far from friends and family? I mean, okay, so the being far from friends and family thing, I promise you guys, it doesn't bother me. Being far from friends and family does not bother me. From being a young child, we were separated from our family then. I moved away for school. I moved away from school. Like, that's not my issue. It was just the combination of everything being far from me at once. So, yeah. But what made me move? The first time, the reason why I moved from Alberta to Ontario, if anybody's in the States, that's like from, I'll have to look at the, even though I know you guys have access to maps, but I want to use my own comparison. So that's like from California to, what is that, Illinois? Illinois or Chicago? Yeah. Chicago's in Illinois. So what was I saying? Anyways, the reason why I moved was like I had a lot of trauma associated with where I lived. And also I always felt like I didn't really fit in. And so the school that I went to, I met a lot of people from Toronto and they were like, you fit right in. And they were absolutely right about that. So then I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me move. And my parents had always said when the baby, me, was done school, they were going to move back home. So moving back into my family home was never going to be an option. My brothers had already moved out. One was already living with his partner. Like, I had to figure it out. So my thing was, if I was going to have to start from scratch, I might as well start from scratch in a city that I want to live in and have, people who don't know me. I can set my own perceptions of how people see me. I can really go into the path that I want to go into. And so in Toronto, the friends that I have now, like who we do the podcast and stuff, I met them in Toronto just over 3 years ago, because I moved to Toronto 2019, January 1st. I really was like, new year, new me. So yeah, what made me move? I really didn't have an option, but also I didn't feel like I was at a loss of options. Like I had to leave my parents' home, but I wanted to leave my parents' home at the same time. And then in terms of why do I live here right now, um, there's a video on YouTube about me getting scammed. That'll explain. That'll explain why I'm here. It makes sense to me because when I'm anxious, I can't put anything in my body, even not even water. Um, I take hot behind showers, then I end in a cold shower. Ooh. It's got to be consistent for me. Even if like it starts hot, I'll just keep it hot. I'll just keep it hot. But yeah, that's my story. If y'all don't see me on live sometimes, it either has to do with me being overwhelmed with all of these shows and stuff, like being in front of these cameras. I mean, these lights and stuff is sometimes daunting for me. Or I'm going through the motions emotionally. And that's what happened last week. So here we are today. That's it. I have this update, but it's not working. Listen, I'm trying to up the viewing pleasure for you guys. Working on these things. Okay, so it should work. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, let me see. Hey! Look at that, you guys. I'm cool. I do cool things. Sometimes. Thank you for sharing, E. It's good to know that you're happy and coping, even in those overwhelmed moments. Hopefully, some sunshine will further help to brighten your days. Yeah, and I've been taking walks, get the serotonin going. But I promise you, it's just this current season is just a lot. Like, I that's what I want you guys to remember. Yeah. It's just this little, like, everybody was far away from, every single person possible was far away from me, and that is foreign. That is something I've never experienced. And of course, Philly trip, a vlog would be nice. Absolutely. I know I'm behind on my vlogs. Oh, I'm hella behind. So Anastasia asks, any new menses? No. Listen, there was one. Well, okay, let me tell you about a new one and then an old one. So with the new one, he was good looking if you ask me, but he almost acts like an insecure guy. And I'll explain. So, yes, Layla, I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna put that up with my little update. You see the things you ain't be doing. And I know y'all probably are like, Elaine, people got this on other. I had to create this, okay? It didn't come with the program. That's all I'm saying. So this new guy, he was attractive. He typically, I don't go for light skin, but he was light skin. He had like ginger hair, nice eyes, nice smile, 6'1". Don't remember what he did for work. Kind of muscular-ish. Yeah, he looked good. And so I messaged him first, and he goes, I'm trying to make this long story very short. Oh, I know you have options or something like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, I know you girls be talking to all the guys you want to. And I guess we're just on here. We're all on here because we're bored. And I was like, I'm literally only talking to you. And then I was like, so you're just talking to me because you're bored? And he was like, well, when you put it that way, it does sound bad. And I was like, well, are you trying to connect with me or not? Like, what's going on? And he was like, no, I am. And I was like, okay, well, you got to leave that, you girls, all females, I know how you be. That don't work with me. Long story short, sounds like a winner from the physical description, but it wasn't quite there. Long story short, I don't know who hurt old boy. And I don't know why he thinks I got options. I mean, thank you. That's a great compliment, but I don't. So, yeah, I was kind of sad because I was like, oh, I hope you find happiness. Because to come out the gate underselling yourself or almost like showing your insecurity of like, I know you're talking to other people. You don't know, though. And even if I was, I am currently speaking to you. So what does it matter? Anyways. Ah, Layla. You're such a catch. High emotional intelligence. I assume a great conversationalist. Pretty, classy. I'm confused and assuming that God must have your husband locked and ready. Locked and ready. Listen, I don't know if my man hasn't been created yet. I don't know. But it is a struggle in these streets. It is a struggle in these streets. Yeah. Definitely giving toxic vibe. The vibe was off. Definitely toxicity. So for me, I'm just like, I hate that I'm in a place where like I know my worth, and I know that sounds bad, but when I was younger, no, this stuff didn't really fly for me either. I feel like when I was younger, I would have let so many more things slide. But even when I think about the guys who were hollering, like I would still say no because I was like, no, you sound like you're going to give me trouble and I don't want that. Why am I like this? I'm happy that I'm not somebody who just lets anybody and everybody come into their lives and potentially ruin me. But then I'm also like I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, the yearning for a companionship is insane. And the older I get and the more it seems unattainable, it really starts to mess with your head, man. It really does. Bye, D. Cliffy. Yes, get back to work. So I'm like, as soon as I see somebody with these kind of red flags, I'm like, here we go again. I wish I was the person who either is like, you know what? I'm going to be the one who's going to change him. I'm going to be his therapist. I'm going to be his mama. Nope. None of that. None of that flies over here for me. So, yeah. Child, I wish you were in the States. I'd totally hook you up. Don't even get me started because y'all know them niggas in the States. They make me feel so desired. I hate this country. Southern Chunky 6'1", light skin but bearded Christian Southern. Good job, family man. No kids, 29. Oh, Layla. Layla, are you the one who found your Layla, are you the one who's married and you found your man on Twitter? That's what I need to happen to me. I need my mans to DM me on Twitter or something. I know I'm using discernment, but discernment is canceling everyone. Everyone. Hey, Fedora. Girl, same, just letting these dudes slip and slide. Then I woke up to game. I should throw out a disclaimer and say, that's my brother. That's your brother-in-law? Well, how's your brother-in-law doing? Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I'm fragile. I can't take heartbreak. Never been in a relationship, but I know I'd be out here messed up after one heartbreak. After one breakup. Here's the thing about me. So when I tell people, um, ah, that is you. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. When I tell people, like I'm ready for a relationship, I honestly feel like emotionally, I'm at a place now that I've never been before, where if a heartbreak was to happen, or if a relationship, because not everything has to end in heartbreak, if a relationship wasn't to come to fruition in the way that I wanted it to, emotionally, I'm going to be all right. Not only that, in a relationship, I think, because perception versus reality, I think I'll actually be able to care for somebody else's emotions where in the past couldn't give couldn't give any care, right? So I embrace it. Relationships. I embrace the challenges. I embrace the potential heartbreak. I always say I'm not necessarily looking for a person who's going to be the one. The one. That's a hope, right? And I hope that whoever I encounter has the potential to be my husband. But my personal motto is, even if it's a short relationship, I want it to be worthwhile. I want to come away from that learning more about myself, learning more about people, having grown in that relationship. And so even if it ends, if it was a good experience, that's okay with me. Yeah, that's it. Yes, the visuals changed, Fedora. You better peep. You better peep. Okay. That's the point, Elaine. Discernment throwing out everybody because you only need one. I know. But it's lonely over here. It's so lonely. Let me tell you how lonely it is before I talk about, this, even if it's short, it'll be worthwhile thing. So I told you about the new guy. There was an old guy. And this guy has kind of been around since 2020. Yeah, I think it was before the pandemic, but I had never gone on a date. I'd never truly considered men romantically until I moved to Toronto. So this guy was trying to meet up, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. Never, never, not gonna happen. Absolutely not. We connected again 2021, but this is around the time that I was talking to Cupcakes, if y'all remember Cupcakes. Oh, that man. Wow. And so I was like, I'm really in like relationship mode right now, and I know he doesn't want a relationship. So I was like, nah, whatever. At the time when we matched in Toronto, he was living in Toronto and I was living in Toronto. We matched again because I was living in Montreal and he's living in Montreal. I was like, it's kind of serendipitous, but let me not do that. So let me take a sip before I finish my story. I may or may not have messaged him over the weekend. And it was a poor lapse of judgment because I know exactly what he wants from me, but I'm telling you, that's how lonely I was feeling. I was like, Elaine, you're going to get absolutely nothing fruitful from entertaining this person. But because I know if I say come over, he will, I was like, okay, that's all I want. All I wanted was human connection, right? Anyways, what did I say? Um, I said, oh my gosh, I forgot you guys really like, the tea on everything. All I said was, hey, how you doing? Listen, I just said, is the offer for what you were offering, whatever he was offering, still on the table? And of course he said yes. Look at me. I can't believe I just said that. So The problem is when I messaged him, I think it was like crazily. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm missing some comments. Let me read those. So, Zilla says, preach. Relationships are essentially just experiences. Some are good, some are bad, but you didn't die, so we move on, period. Um, no, there's not anyone new anymore, Fedora. I moved to a different state and I've had moments of loneliness. I'm still working on making friends and building my network here. Yeah, and that's my thing too. I really need to just make friends. And typically I'm okay with making friends, but also the world wasn't shut down at the time. Like I go to random social events even though I'm the only person I know there, and I will make a friend any event that I go to. So that's what has me tripped up right now. Like you, I'm single, outgoing. Suggestion. Okay, I was like, what is that? Shoot all shots, career, friends, dating, etc. I took a class this weekend and gave my number to a couple people. Another suggestion, start the conversation, take the risk. I can shoot my shots for career and friends. It's the dating part. The dating part is where I'm crippled. Did he reply? Of course he did. Of course he did. He's been wanting to meet up for years. So I guess the last guy was right when he said, you have options. I just wasn't utilizing them. But yeah, y'all, and let me tell you why I fall victim to him specifically. When I tell you he is my type, he's a little bit husky, just a little bit, nothing crazy. He is tall. He's dark skin. He's African but raised in Canada. He just, creme de la creme. But he doesn't want a relationship, and that's the part that pisses me off. That's the part that pisses. No, I did not say hey, big head. That's the part that pisses me off. All he wants is to smash, and I could. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that option. Is it the same one that doesn't want commitment? There was one that didn't want commitment. Oh, are we talking about Sprinkles? Oh, so let me tell you about not Sprinkles. What's his name? Cupcakes. So in as much as I say I'm open to the risk and stuff or whatever, I just want honesty at the end of the day. At least give me honesty. If you know you don't plan on taking me seriously, taking me on for the long haul, like, let me know and let me make the decision of whether or not I still want to proceed with you. And that was my issue with Cupcakes. I had to grill him to find out that he was trying to move at his own pace, which I don't have an issue with, but don't present like I'm crazy, because I know when we first started, we talked about working towards a relationship. We talked about what a future would look like if we were to proceed. And then all of a sudden you talking about you want to take it slow and take time to build. That annoyed me. However, I don't regret entertaining him. I don't consider us dating. We went on one date. I don't consider us having dated, right? In experiencing him, the long and short of it is, one, he helped break my barrier of men in a romantic sense, and I really appreciate that. He helped break the barrier of me even talking about men to my mom. That's a new thing. My mom has been saying it's okay for years now, but something just made me very bashful around her. And I'm not even embarrassed around my mom, but something about like a romantic interest, I can't do it. But I talked to her about him, and she was like, oh my gosh, he's a boy. Oh my goodness. Wow. She was, you know. I learned to not feel insecure about my body. And as much as I don't have a personal insecurity about my body, I had always feared what a romantic interest would think about my body. And I mean, he could have had his own feelings, but he didn't project them onto me. I didn't feel insecure in his presence about my body. So I really appreciate that. I learned with him that the conversations about like family and history and all that stuff still don't necessarily feel like vulnerability to me. And I thought, oh, if we're talking about more than just the surface stuff, that'll be like me really getting to know somebody and we're really building a strong foundation. And yes, it is true, but it wasn't enough. And I hadn't known that until actually experiencing it with him. I also learned what true desire and pursuit should feel like because I didn't feel it with him. Whereas the guy that I was talking to from the DMV, he was in another country and I felt way more desired from him than I do a man who lives 20 minutes away. So yeah, I learned a lot from him. It didn't pan out the way that I wanted to. It got cut way shorter than I expected it to. But I always say if I'm going to give my time to somebody romantically, it better be worth it. And in a lot of ways, he was worth it. Why Men Love Bitches is the handbook of dating. Gotta make these men sweat. I've never heard of that book. Might have to check it out. Nah, I don't really read. I'd be lying to y'all. Let me not pretend like I'm a reader. Where's my lip gloss? My lips is ashy. No, for real. What the heck? Okay, well, that's gone. He lied. Cupcakes lied. Not okay. I mean, it's not. The thing that he lied about is not a big deal, but because I don't like lying, even a little white lie is going to piss me off. That is all. Has he changed his mind since you initially linked up? Who are you referring to, Layla? The guy that I messaged? Because it's not the same. It's not the cupcakes guy. It's two different guys. I'm the same. Mom probably thought I was asexual for a while. Well, I ain't talking about men with no one in my family. I feel you. Ooh, yes. Feeling desired is so important. I just had a breakup. And as wonderful as my ex was, I didn't feel desired by him. My sister bought me Why Men Love Bitches for Christmas. I have yet to read it. Interesting. Yeah, so the whole desire thing, I was like, even just somebody texting you good morning does so much. Or even like, if you're busy, letting me know you're gonna be busy. And I know it sounds weird to some people, but it's that consideration. It shows me that you're thinking of me rather than just leaving me out to dry for hours on end and I don't know if I'm going to get in contact with you. Like, it was stuff like that that would piss me off. And then, funny enough, I had suggested things for us to do, and he had an excuse for every single thing. But then I had seen him post on social media, and that's another thing too. I'm probably going to stop following guys that I'm talking to unless they're actually like my boyfriend or something, because it's just too much. He posted something on Instagram, like sometimes guys like to like when dates are planned, something along the lines of like, it's not always the guy that should plan a date or something, you know? And so I'm here like, but I did that 3 times. And you had an excuse every time. So like that whole being in my head, the whole wondering, is he even thinking of me? Does he desire me? One thing I told myself I would never do in a relationship is to come out of it with new insecurities. And so the not feeling desired by a man romantically was something I never had an insecurity of. And he was not about to develop it within me. No. No siree. Mm-mm. Be careful of those long distance lovers. They know how to use words to create intimacy real quick. You got to guard your heart. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's really no stakes at play when they're so long distance. I mean, the distance wasn't that long. It's like a 1 hour flight, to be honest with you. And we had planned to meet up, but well, life. Life. And the only reason why I didn't take his words for fluff was because, like, and I know somebody's gonna be like, Yelene, that doesn't matter. But his family would be there when we were talking, and like his dad knew about me, his mom knew about me. We would have devotions together, like I've said in the past. And I'm not saying when you see these things that absolutely qualify somebody. I'm just saying it was enough for me to go in it with good faith that there was potential. And in terms of me meeting up with him, I was already going to the States. I wasn't creating a new trip for him. I was already going. Talking about the African gentleman who wants physical intimacy, he has changed his mind on commitment since y'all broke up. We were never together. We just were talking for like the last couple years. So his mindset on commitment has never changed. I'm telling you. No, seriously, where's my lip gloss? I'm actually pressed for real. I'm stressed. What the heck? Okay. I'm saying that's how lonely I was. The fact that I know I want commitment, but I was willing to just go with somebody who I know doesn't want that. Yeah. If old dude wanted to date, are y'all compatible? And would you go for it? It's okay to be nosy. Yeah, even when we ended things, I didn't like say, oh, never talk to me again and blah, blah, blah. I literally told him, because he told me he wants to build, right? I feel like if that's your perception, then go and do that and then seek companionship. Because if you're going to make it seem like all of a sudden you're unable to nurture a real relationship, but you're entertaining girls who want that, like, no, don't do that. I had told him, okay, if things change for you, let me know. At the time that I said that, I still did have feelings for him. Now, there's a host of reasons why I would probably say no. The lying thing, like I said, it wasn't a super big deal, but it was big enough for me to be like, I don't like that. The fact that I would have to coax answers out of him, I like open communication. And so if you're feeling something or if you're not feeling something, let me know. And then the fact that he is 30 and was acting like this, I feel like I would have more leeway if he was like 26. Maybe. 30? You want to be non-committal at 30, but you want marriage and all that stuff and whatever. Do you think you're just going to find the girl and it's going to happen in a minute? Like, every time I say I'm looking for like a serious relationship, I think guys think within a year I expect to be married. No! Never that. Okay? But we do have to establish a foundation, and it starts from day one. And we had gone 3 months. I'm looking at you, you looking at me, and we ain't going nowhere. No, thank y'all. Do they watch your YouTube? So, this whole YouTube thing, it's really becoming an issue. The guy from the DMV, there was one time when I was talking about him and he actually pulled up in the chat. And I don't know who was subscribed back then. Some of y'all might remember, some of y'all might not. I ran out that live so quick because the thing about YouTube chat, you don't know how long somebody's been watching you. So I was like, I don't know what he's heard. This is a lot. And then there was another guy I was talking to. We're going to call him Jay. He watched my videos to the point where he would quote me. And we had but we had like matched up prior to the pandemic. And then it didn't work out because he thought I wasn't ready for a relationship. But he never asked me and he never explained to me why. So I was like, well, I'm not going to chase a grown man. I'm never that. And so he circled back shortly after Cupcakes, actually, like days. Maybe he knew because I know he watches my YouTube. Are you watching me right now? You better click off this video. So literally days after Cupcakes, he was like, hey, you want to try again? And so we tried for a little bit. And then he would quote stuff from my YouTube. And I was like, I don't like that. And then he got real comfortable with me. Like, you know how when you're in a long-term relationship and you call like your boyfriend a loser or like ugly or whatever like that, and it's a joke? He was doing that within a week of us talking again. And I was like, I am a lady. I am in the tender stage of this situation. You're going to have to hit me with a baby. You're going to have to hit me with a love, a hun, a sweetie, a sweetheart. He had me messed up. Then there was a guy I was talking to, I think about like 2 weeks ago. He was watching my YouTube and I didn't even tell him about my YouTube name. He just found it. He didn't have my Instagram. I guess he just searched my first name and I guess I pop up. Cupcakes didn't watch my YouTube to my knowledge, but he wanted my knowledge on YouTube so he could start a YouTube. Hi, Abjibi. Yeah, it's just, at this point, I'm going to tell people I work at a family business. We have a cannoli restaurant, a cannoli bakery. Because I can't stand, like, them just watching me. It's weird. Okay, I'm behind on comments. Yeah, it's a consideration for me. I hate being left behind and left on red. Yeah. There is safety in a multitude. Our family needs to know who you're dating. They will see red flags when you're infatuated. Eyes won't. That's true. I believe dating should be, you are ready to be married. If not, stop wasting time. Yeah, and that's my thing. Like, if you knew you were in a season of building, go and do that. You know what I mean? You don't drive residential speeds on the highway. When you know you're ready to go on the highway, you go on the highway. Don't not be like, no, but I'm trying to drive at 50. 50? It's 120 on here. What are you doing? Doesn't make sense. You're slowing people down. Give yourself time to gather your thoughts, clear your mind so you can move on appropriately. What's that in reference to? What did I say? Some of these men are sneaky, just keeping one foot in for attention. Yeah. Have you considered going total opposite direction from your type, at least physically, baby? Yes. And that's what makes me want to go back to my type, because the guy from these last few days, the light-skinned guy, that's not my type at all. The Cupcakes guy, not my type at all. The guy who was calling me ugly, not my type at all. The only guys who truly made me feel like, oh, this is where I want to be, is my type. And I also want to say that just because I have a type, it doesn't mean I don't find attraction in other people. It's just that to me is like the peak, you know? The bald, bearded, dark skinned, husky, taller than me, Christian, smells good. That's like the peak. But there's a lot of things in between that I'm like, I like this. And it's not even like I can make it work. No, like I like it. With Cupcakes, like I told y'all, was not bald, was not husky. He was tall, he was dark skinned. He was from my country, and I don't like that typically. I like Americans. I do. But yeah, the loneliness has me thinking like, just swipe on anything. Lately, I've been swiping on white men. Woo! And ain't nothing wrong with dating a white man. That's not what I'm saying, okay? I feel like my first love was a white boy. So was my second. I'm just saying that's not typically what I go for, but that's where we're at today. That is where we're at. Y'all quiet now. Where y'all at? Why am I talking to myself? Just don't settle, no matter how frustrating, girl. And don't feel the need to play any games. The dating games are so pointless. 1000% Layla. I mean, if I was the type to settle, I could have settled a long time ago. A long time ago. Trust me. Trust me. There's this one guy, oh, God bless his heart. I didn't even know he had feelings for me. But he told me, I had already moved to Toronto. And I was just like, I could do it, but I would be convincing myself to do it. And I couldn't let myself do that. I couldn't let him be a part of that, you know? So I was like, no. Wait, what? I'm eating fries. I can't. Okay, Alexis, you eat your food, all right? If we were on Zoom, I wouldn't have to type. Okay. I'm worried. See, here's the thing. Okay, so talking about that whole Zoom thing that I suggested, I'm torn between doing like a membership thing or keeping everything free because sometimes I do want to talk about stuff. Like I have things that I want to talk about, but like I just told y'all, people be watching my videos, and sometimes I just want it to be the community, like the people who I know, where this is a safe space. But I also feel weird about charging people for stuff because I'm just a regular ass human being. Like, why am I gonna, you know? But then also for my favorite people, I purchase their Patreon and stuff like that. I don't know, like it's just a lot. Maybe when I get bigger, that's something that I will really like dive into. I know some people have been asking for memberships. Some people have said, don't do it. So yeah, I'm still bordering the line. The Zoom thing, those things take extra effort, take extra time. And that's why I would make it like a membership perk. But I know, I feel you. Girl, get your money, Sarah. I feel weird because you guys are honestly like family to me. So it's like, man, $2. Okay. And it'll be cheaper for those in the States. It'll be $1 or something. I'm not mad at a white chocolate. It might be good for you. I mean, one of the guys that I've had the strongest feelings for ever was a white guy. So it's not like it's foreign to me. I've seen many beautiful young women married to white men and be in bliss. No shame in loving someone different from you in every way. Maybe that's a sign. Listen, I've been swiping. One of them was kind of weird. But there's always got to be a weirdo in every demographic. We would pay to support you. You guys. Okay, I'll think about it. I think about it. I'm holding on to these vlogs and videos just like in fear, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Okay. Random question. Whatever happened to. Wow, you are going there. Okay. Whatever happened to the Faith It or Fake It podcast? I listened to your current podcast, but I loved your faith based podcast. Whatever happened to Fake It or Faith It? The short version is sometimes when you're working with friends, the dynamics that change in the friend group obviously permeate into the business, right? And so I felt like there was a personal situation with one of the girls, same with the other girl. And it just became very hard for us to mend our friendship while also working together at the same time. So when the friendship kind of took a hit, so did the podcast. Hi, Fafa. Yeah, so that is what happened. I enjoyed that part. I miss it so much. But in listening to it, even when I listen back, I hear our friendship deteriorating. Like I hear it. It's crazy. So yeah, this current podcast is very different. It's with my Toronto friends rather than my Alberta friends. These are also older women compared to the last group. But yeah, I feel you. I miss it too. I do. A lot of people still message me to this day. They're like, so when's the new episode? I said, new episode? We stopped over a year ago. How about a solo faith-based podcast? Okay. You're not the first person to ask me that. Sorry, guys. Let me run and get my charger real quick. Alexis, I need you to congratulate me on finally throwing away my balloons, okay? Stay coming from my neck. They are gone. I just wanted to celebrate my 25th birthday for a few more months. So how about a solo faith-based podcast? I am still discovering my relationship with religion. And I know that faith and religion are not synonymous. However, I would be speaking from a perspective that was curated by a specific religion, being Seventh-day Adventist. And so I don't want to speak and have people... I don't want to speak and have people think that I'm the spokesperson of Adventism. I'm still figuring things out. I'm even questioning if I want to be Adventist at all. And I know that there's more people than just subscribers who listen to me talk. Sometimes like family gets wind of some of my videos that aren't TV show related. Like this one, my mom will probably watch it because she'd be watching my lives. And so if I was to say that, that would have its own conversations that I don't want to have. My thoughts on certain things might go against biblical principles. So I don't want to ever sit on a seat that makes it seem like I'm the authority on something that I'm not fully knowledgeable on, at, whatever word fits at the end of that sentence. So yeah, That's why the faith-based thing, I'm kind of like steering away from it. The girls that I do the podcast with, they are Christian as well. They are actually probably more Seventh-day Adventist than I am. Um, but we're all navigating religion, faith, Christianity. And so we try not to touch on it too much just because we don't want to seem like we are the authority on something when, you know, we might give misinformation or something like that. I know we plan on having an episode where we actually talk about our Christian walk. So maybe I'll put it out there so y'all know this is the one, because I've been asked that question, like, Elaine, talk about your Christian walk, talk about your Christian walk. We're going to. But yeah, that's probably why I wouldn't do a solo faith-based podcast, Lily. I totally understand. It was such a good podcast, but I respect that you didn't let a podcast take over your friendship. Well, that's the thing. The friendship died. That's why there's no podcast. Like, we succumbed to the injuries. We did. And I think it would have happened regardless of the podcast, but the podcast just expedited the ending of the friendship. So yeah, that's what it is. Do you enjoy making your current podcast with your new friends? I do. It's a very different subject matter than what we did on the other one. And I think that since these women are like in the social services sphere and whatever, like the conversations tend to go a lot more like, let's break down the patriarchy and looking at the white supremacy. And I'm just like, I wanted to talk about noodles. So that's the only thing where I'm just like, this is very different. And I know that some of you guys who follow me over were expecting something that was a little bit more like fake it or faith it. I've gotten that feedback. So I do love doing that podcast with them. It's an adjustment because I had done a podcast that was so different. It's taking me a minute to shift in my mind. Thanks, Alexis. And I thoroughly enjoyed, I like the way you think podcast, especially enjoyed March 30th episode. Y'all said everything I was thinking. What did we say March 30th? Oh, the slap. Ooh, some people did not like Elaine, and I was like, see, and that's how you know social media doesn't mean you know somebody's whole breakdown. Oh, the people were upset with me, and I said, babe, that's okay. You are not me, and I am not you. And that is all right. Girl, I will start a podcast with you to talk about dumb stuff. That's all I want to do. I just want to talk about dumb stuff. Like, my favorite podcast, and this might shock you, maybe, who knows, is The Read. I love talking about foolishness. But then that's why I'm on YouTube. I have you guys to talk about foolishness with. Yeah, I'm glad you said it and not me. It's very different content than what I would expect from you. Sometimes it doesn't seem quite like you. Yeah. Yeah. And the difference probably is that I was more so the creative hand in Fake It or Faith It, whereas this one, not so much. So that's probably why it doesn't feel like me. Yeah. I still love it. I'm not crapping on it at all. It's just an adjustment. This is how I feel about my own spirituality. I've been slacking with prayer and reading the Quran. And since Ramadan started, I came back to praying consistently. That made me, didn't Ramadan start a few days ago? Super emotional. It's like I missed how close to God I was. And now I'm repairing and healing my spirituality. And that's the thing for me too. The pandemic really hit me. And it's not like before the pandemic, I was, the picture perfect vision of Christianity. But I didn't realize the impact that not physically going to church would have on me. And even singing, I feel like I don't even have the desire to sing as much anymore because where I sang the most was in church. And I ain't been going to church. And sometimes when people ask me, Elaine, can you record a video? I'm like, no, I don't want to. No. Started April 2nd. Okay, that was a few days. Not really. But yeah, step by step. What's that song? Step by step, day by day. This is why I can't have a solo podcast, you guys. I have nobody to bounce off of. It's just me. It's just me. You are a multitude, and people have multiple sides to them. So I love it. Just my opinion. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. Honestly, it's so funny when people are like shocked at a certain thing. They're like, oh, I didn't know that you thought this way, or I didn't know whatever. And I'm like, are you just one way? No, you're different to your mom, you're different to your dad, you're different to your siblings, you're different to your coworkers, you're different to your friends. Like, we're all multifaceted people. And so, like, I could break out right now into devotion and have scriptures on hand. I could break out into Cardi B lyrics, could be blasphemous. Well, we're here. I could have an intellectual conversation that talks about breaking down the infrastructure of white supremacy in our society today. But yeah, it's all me. It's all me. Probably, now that I'm thinking in retrospect, I probably should have just went live last week, because just talking to you guys makes me feel good, even though it's just me here. It still feels like y'all are here. I don't know, it's weird. White people lose their mind when they find out I like Willie Nelson and Dave Matthews Band. That's gonna be a little Google search for me. Well, actually, I could use my own example. Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton. Oh, chef's kiss. I know a little bit of Zach Brown Band. Okay. What else? Even like, honestly, if you look through my library, I've got like some Bollywood type music in there. I've got some rock music in there. We got some, I think I have an album of this guy who just does classical, no words, nothing, just classical music. Like, we're multifaceted. Crash into me. You're saying things I don't know. You were saying things I don't know. Killed on crash. Crash into me, Matthews. I don't think so. I don't think so. Can we please talk about the Ultimatum? That show was blowing me. Sure, we can talk about it. Not y'all calling it a bop. It's a bop? Okay. Let me see. I'm about to play it in a second. No. No. Ooh, but my favorite song of all time, More Than Words by Extreme. Oh, when I tell you, if it is the right day, I will break out in tears. That is my absolute, my favorite, beyond any Beyonce song, beyond any Nicki song, any Cardi song, any Neo song. That is my song. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Ultimatum. You know what? Should we talk about the Ultimatum? Because I do plan on having a live specifically for the Ultimatum. We'll touch on it. Okay. Rondell is very obviously not going to pick Shanique. He seems so over her drama. And honestly, Rondell himself a little gossip girl. I'm even shocked that they are as far into this as they are. Relationships that I can believe in, honestly, is Ray and Zay. And believe in terms of like how they got to this point. And Jake and April. Them other ones, it don't make sense to me. Symphony by Clean Bandit. Clean Bandit. Clean Bandit. Okay. Is the Ultimatum worth watching? I mean, if you're into trash TV. If you're into trash TV. That's right, Fafa. Okay, get to the point. I don't know the song. Does Clean Bandit do No Place I'd Rather Be? I know that one. Randall is annoying too, though. Alexis, I don't know that person. I ship Zay and Shanique, though, high key. You know what? I ship them, but I think Shanique needs time. It seems like she's still in like the toxic young girl phase. And Randall keeps saying, yo, she thinks she's ready, but she's not. I agree. I think she just needs a little bit more time. The fact that she so you ain't got Spotify, but I mean you ain't got Instagram, but we're gonna follow you on Spotify, Alexis. Not you don't get his walk, Fafa. Good lord. um, the way that she like got really agitated at Zay. I'm only at episode 6, so y'all don't tell me nothing that's already happened. I'm just like, oh, this is an immature woman creating an argument that doesn't have to be an argument. And it's funny how Zay picked two women who where he struggles to really articulate feelings without getting like pushback, you know? Because in that moment, all he was saying was, I acknowledge that this is what she's doing. However, what am I going to do? She's able to do what she wants to do. And it seemed like Shanique almost wanted a reaction out of him, but because he was like rationally talking through it and whatever, she got annoyed. And I was like, girl, whatever. I loved the moment that Zay had with Shanique's family. If there ever was a reason to consider this girl, it's how accepted he was in that family. I thought that was beautiful. The grandmother said, since you can't get in contact with your parents, you can call me. Y'all know that show, Adopting Adults? Sign me up. Oh my gosh. Oh, is it life-changing? All the episodes are not out. It's up to episode 8 right now. 9 and 10 are dropping on Wednesday. I don't know if they're doing a finale, though. I have no idea. He keeps talking about how he needs to make a decision. I'm like, Shanique has a decision too, bruh. I feel like she almost moved towards Zay, but he got issues. Yeah, and also like Zay has his own issues as well. Like to me, he's not perfect. I just feel like of all the guys, I see him going the furthest. Somebody said though that like somebody's gonna hit somebody, and I'm like, oh God, please. No more hitting. I'm tired, exhausted. I love that moment too with Zay and Shanique's family. Yeah, it was beautiful. I think with time they can each grow as people together. So maybe I ship their potential. Yeah. At this point, none of the couples are good together. Well, except Ray and Jake. I ship them. You do. You do. I stopped the ultimatum after episode 3. All annoying. I hear you. I hear you. I'm trying to think what would have made the show better for me. I want to say older people just so the arguments don't seem so juvenile. However, if you're older and you're on the cusp of marriage, I feel like the stakes are too high to want to immerse yourself in this kind of experiment. Because even when you think about the two couples who left early, both the guys were 30. Like, I think they're like, hey, listen, all right, let's get out of here. I got too much to lose. I got too much to lose. I think April and Jake could be good. Really? I'm sorry. To me, Jake, like when he's like, I need time out of the army to explore, I fully support it. Because right now, I don't even think he should be in a relationship, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah. Someone needs to run away from their partner. LOL, yes, they seem really into each other. I don't see it for Ray and Jake. Seems honeymoon-ish. It'll wear off in a few months. And I think the issue that Zay is trying to point out, that she isn't expressive enough, is going to be an issue for anyone. Yeah. Especially if Jake is talking like he isn't really heard in his own relationship and he doesn't really get his needs catered to. If he ends up finding his voice, he's going to need he's probably going to end up being the April of his relationship if he was to be with Ray long term. You know what I mean? What would have made the show better is a lie detector test ratings would have been through the roof. Big facts. If Jake and April work through their issues, they could make it, I feel. I feel like they could. I feel like they could. Just when I think about their history, like, he's a military guy. She's, wants to be the not basic, that's not a good word. Wants to be like the Stepford housewife situation. Well, does she want to be a housewife? She wants to be a homemaker. No, is that the same thing? She wants to be a mom. Okay, she wants to be a mother and a wife. So I guess their lives are the most compatible when you think about it that way. Colby looking hella shady. They're all too young. Yeah, Sarah, I agree. The thing is, they're too young in today's standards, because my mom was married at 24, had my brother at, 26? She was already halfway through making her family by the time these people are still coming out with their decision. So I don't even necessarily think they're too young. I think their mentality is very juvenile. And so it's kind of annoying watching these people saying, I want to get married, but I get annoyed when he doesn't post me on social media. Are you 12? Please. Oh my goodness. Ray and Jake, I seen like two people who were freed from prison. Oh my gosh. They both got a taste for a sweet love without baggage of April and Zay. Yep. Not Love After Lockup, the remix. Shanique, I can't with her. She just won a wedding and a reception. That is true. I do think she's missing what a marriage actually requires from you. Oh, they had a reunion. Okay. I feel like she listened to Jake when he expressed how he felt. Which she are you referring to? If you're talking about Ray, I'm not saying she doesn't listen to Jake. I'm saying it might get to a point where, so April is constantly nagging Jake, like, what is wrong with it? What's happening? Whatever, right? And he's the less expressive one because he couldn't get a word in, right? So that's the difference. Whereas with him, he's becoming a lot more like expressive because he has room to talk. But that's because this girl don't talk at all. And I feel like it would be a role reversal between April and Jake if Jake was to be with Ray. I don't know how to explain it any more than that, but like, she then would be the one who's going unheard in her relationship if she was to stick with Jake. And she's currently feeling that with Zay, and I'm like, girl, The man is asking you to express yourself, and you don't do that. So I think for him, the reason why he keeps talking is to kind of like paint the picture. Like maybe he thinks she's not understanding what he's asking her, and she just don't talk. How are you gonna give somebody an ultimatum? Then you're asked why do you want to marry them, and you don't have reasons. So weird. Oh, you don't see the hit. Okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, are you watching the new season of Nope. No. Um, and as much as I love dramatic television, I'm at the point where I'm tired of seeing so much black struggle love. And it feels like that's Owen's bread and butter. And it kind of irritates me because Ready to Love, struggle love. Put a ring on it, struggle love. The new show, Marry Me Now, struggle love. Y'all be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, struggle love. Even down to the show Black Love, I watched the first season and that's where I stopped because this is not everybody, right? But some of those relationships, I almost felt like they glorified the struggle. The girl will be like, oh yeah, I've been with him for 12 years and 6 out of those 12 years, he was cheating on me. He had 3 babies on me. I almost killed myself, found myself in the ICU, and then he professed his love to me. And then now we're better than ever. What? No, no, no. I would rather watch the other people go through their drama than us because I'm tired. Their narrative is so ingrained in us that we almost like miss how much it's affecting us. So yeah, that's why I'm not. That's the long reason why I'm not watching Put a Ring on It. Now you're confused together. Okay, so some people feel left out. Let's talk about something else. Ray and Zay are toxic? I believe it. I'm a little behind on listening on this 1.5 speed to catch up. Oh no. Well, welcome, D. I would say in their early 30s. You would rather they be in their early 30s on the show? For me, if you're in your early 30s and you got to come on a show to see whether or not you want to marry me, babe, leave me. Drop me on the corner of Main Street. Drop me. I don't want no business. I don't want no business. I vote Ready to Love as a change of topic. Justice for Tori. I am okay with Tori leaving. I feel no ways. When is the next season of Married at First Sight Australia? Good question. I know somebody said UK is coming in August, I think they said. Let me see. Maths AU season 10. Put a Ring in It is kind of messy this season. The gist. Well, I'm sure it's just too because it's just funny to watch. Where is one couple where a man is a bum and a stalker. The second couple. Oh no, I watched the first episode. That's when I decided that this is not for me. That is when I decided I'm good. Paul needs to go right behind him. But I think we're at the point now where people are going to make their decision. So we'll see. There should only be one more episode. I'm so tired of this season. Ugh. Ooh, but I did this little like intro thing. Cause sometimes like y'all will be in the chat, but I'm not quite ready. So I got this little intro thing to be going while I'm getting ready. So y'all could have like kind of like prelude music and a vibe. So tune in this Friday. You know, we're elevating the production on the Queen E channel. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, no, babe, season 10. Season 10. They don't know yet. They don't know. I missed some comments. Me too. Tori was there too long, way too long. So tired of him. Do you think Ray, is able to express herself with Jake? Do you think Ray is able to express herself with Jake because she knows she is being heard, whereas Zay, she's not being heard? That's why she's shut off. There's a potential of that. There's also the whole, the mom said it. Jake's mom, you guys both have reprieve from your person. So it's gonna seem easy. I'm sure in the beginning of Ray and Zay's relationship, things were hunky-dory. You know what I mean? When people get real comfortable in their relationships, you forget those initial things that attracted you to each other. And I'm sure listening to each other was something that they used to do. Otherwise, if this has always been a problem in y'all's relationship, why are you still here? I'm looking at you sideways. Sabrina out here, y'all really got me flipping from show to show. Oh my gosh. Tori was the only man there that wanted and was ready for a relation. You think so? Mister, I'm gonna rearrange your guts. Okay. It seems like Sabrina is playing puppeteer. That controlling man needs his ass stomped by the father and put a ring on it. Oh my gosh. Oh, is this the guy who my cousin sent me a clip? He screenshotted the girl's bank information, like her transactions and stuff. And I don't know, something like that. You here for the upgrades? I'm kind of not liking Tina or Sabrina from Ready to Love. The season is somehow worse than the previous one. Y'all, we always say that. I'm sorry. I can't say it this time around. Last season was exponentially worse than this one. I can't say it this time around. I can't. But yeah, with Sabrina though, I'm not really feeling her. Tina, I like Tina. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like Tina. I like her. I do. Dickie is the one who should exit the season. She doesn't have any connections, unfortunately. I mean, it's looking like they're gonna force it with Paul. If he can get her aroused, allegedly he can't. She can't. That was messy. Oh my gosh. I want to fast forward to the reunion for all the tea because they all seem shady to me except Tori, Joy, and Joy's man, forgot his name, Clifton. So somebody spilled the tea. I think it was Eric. And he said that the reunion was filmed only after the second episode had aired. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I miss when reunions were actually live. I get it, it's a liability, but I miss when they were actually live, or at the very least, filmed after the entire season has aired. Because you get the comments of the viewers, you get to see how the edit happened, you get to hear what people said about you behind their back, and not just those little clips that they show you in the meantime, and then you have to go off of your experience. No, I want to see what Latarius was saying about me when I didn't hand him the cookies. They filming it too damn early. Tina, literally bailed on Tommy. Where's the respect? Well, this is according to Tina. That didn't happen the way that it panned out. And honestly, it's not the first time people have said that. They've said, listen, they made it seem like I was being difficult when that wasn't the case. So I don't know what the full tea on that is. But the way that people be threatening lawsuits and stuff with these contracts, I feel like there's more to the story than somebody just ghosting production. Like y'all know, I've applied for TV shows in the past. Them paperworks be long. And they tell you from the jump, we own you. Not in so many words, but they tell we own you. So I feel like whatever storyline they try to push out is just that, a storyline. But hey, I guess we'll see. We'll see in the end what really happened. Tina's indecisive, and that's a red flag to me. Really, you think she's indecisive? I think of all the people who are indecisive, Sabrina is the most indecisive. I really loved Tina's dating style. I'm so sorry. I really did. Like, whenever she would sit down with somebody, I felt like she was very intentional on saying what she's looking for, what she's offering, and where she sees a relationship, what she sees for a long-term relationship that she wants to be a part of. That was good enough for me. That was good enough for me. How can you film? I mean, I know why they're doing it, Night Owl. It's basically, one, so they can have a good hold on what happens. If you do things live, things are unpredictable, it's messy or whatever. But two, when Eric was even recounting the situation with Dakia, he was like, if I had seen the episode, my reactions to what you saw, what you're going to see on the reunion is going to be very different, because he claims that at that time he was still unsure of how that situation was perceived. So to us, where she's basically saying, he sexually assaulted her, he thought it was an honest mistake. And so it's going to seem like he's being evasive. That's what he said. He said it's going to seem like he was being evasive, but he truly is remorseful for it, especially seeing how it impacted her after watching how it went down, right? So I know why they're doing it. And my thing is, like, if you truly want it to just be pre-recorded, just pre-record it. But don't do it before not even half the season aired. Nah, bro. Not Cookie Gate and Queenie's head. Yeah, man. I want to know what Latarius said. I think Tina and Ace didn't respect the show because of the producers, which includes Tommy. My issue was Tina didn't make a correct decision for her 2-year-old baby. Why come on the show with a fresh, wow, though, yeah, whoo. At this point, I don't want Tina at the reunion. It already happened. She was already there. It could be a storyline, but it's so hard for me to believe that. I do believe that she mentally checked out and now is trying to do damage control. Tina gave contradictory information in those interviews. That's why I'm saying she's indecisive. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my words for sure. Yeah, I could be biased because I do like her. I know a lot of people say they don't like Joy. I couldn't give two craps. I love Joy. I love both Joys. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased, but I really don't feel the way y'all feel about Tina. I don't. I like Tina. She wasn't down with the foolishness. She's like, nah, y'all men ain't worth her time. So I get, right? That's how I feel. That is exactly how, listen, you are... If she's right about saying she had wanted to be eliminated, like she asked them to get rid of her and they decided not to, from that moment on, I would be like, oh, I'm going to be a menace. You want to keep me in bondage? I'm going to make it worth your while. Okay? I'm going to make it worth your while. I personally didn't see anything contradictory, but also, like I said, I could be biased, right? I could be listening for what I'm wanting to hear. And the same could be said for y'all who naturally don't like her. The only people who know the truth were the people who were there. So I guess let's wait for the Let's wait for the reunion. Hey, Ramel. How you doing, boo? Honestly, Donovan and Paul can both go. They're both uninterested in the women there. I just love looking at Donovan with his sexy face. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Right? I'd be acting like Camille. That's what I'm saying. And as much as we did not like Camille, I understand. I already found my person. Why are we doing this? Like, I would be a menace. If y'all ever see me on television, just know I went to create chaos. I went to cause havoc. Especially if things aren't working in my favor. This is the Joy and Clifton show at this point. Listen, it's been the Joy and Clifton show from the time I clicked the first episode. I love them. I do. Even if you feel that way, just give a call and respond saying, hey, I'm not coming or something. But again, that's what I'm saying. They have to create a story. Here's the thing for me that I found interesting. Most people have a pre-recorded voicemail, especially if you have a business or if you're an entrepreneur, whatever, right? Why every time did it go to some automated machine? Unless that truly is her voicemail, I was like, did they really call Tina or did they call one of the PAs and told them not to answer? Like, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that she was like absolutely no contact because they said that about Ace too. They said Ace was no contact, whatever. Ace was like, that ain't true. Even Tyrone was like, they lying. That's not what happened. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Ah, you're doing fine. You were off work today. Love that. I like all them ladies. They're all stunning to me. I just don't like Tina's choices from the little snippet I see. Sabrina is a new level of playing Puppet Master in the background. I'm not surprised that Camille and her boo are still together. They were locked in from day. They truly were. She had her eyes on him and never looked back. Right? I'm gonna play a role. LOL. I'm gonna act all out of character, Alexis. I'm gonna show up like New York from Flavor of Love. I'm going to be Tammy Roman on Real World. I'm going to be Tamar Braxton. Like I'm looking at y'all so that y'all remember this moment. If y'all ever see me on television, know I am leaning in to whatever role I walked in saying I was going to play. I'm leaning into it. I hate that Eric and Dakia had this misunderstanding. I truly would like to think that he just misread Dakia's signals and not acting in a perverted, malicious way. And I don't know. It's really hard for me to talk about because I have been sexually assaulted in the past, but I also have very close people to me who have had situations happen where they were accused of something that wasn't as it was portrayed to be. So I see it on both ends. I truly see it equally on both ends. And so it's hard for me to believe that Eric would act that way, especially in front of company, especially in front of production, especially knowing that he works with the likes of Netflix and the Food Network. He would mess up his bag like that? I think it was a misunderstanding. The other side of that coin is I'm not putting anything past anyone. We are all capable of something if given the right, if we reach a certain threshold, you know what I mean? Like there's always a certain price we're willing to charge for something. Something. So yeah, I don't know. Oh yes, Clifton, that man was Joyce from the gate. Here for it. Yeah. This is so me in public, all out of character, and then I wonder why the stop it. I don't know what to think about Eric at this point. He did an interview with Kamisha Reviews and was contradicting himself the whole time. Yeah, I do think he was kind of talking like a deer in headlights, kind of like, oh man, what do I do? Or, you know when you have your perception of how you're going to do something, and then it's not really going your way and you're scrambling. I felt like he was scrambling. At the end of the day, though, it's really hard for me to believe that what he did was meant in a malicious way. It's really hard for me when I'm thinking about the circumstance, when I'm thinking about the environment. However, anybody is capable of anything. And at the end of the day, no matter what your intention was, if somebody feels violated, they were violated. You cannot go and now dictate somebody's feelings. You know what I mean? You apologize, you don't make excuses, and you let it rock. Hey, Rachel. That's the friend I was talking about who got 3 kids and lives an hour away. Rachel, I was just talking about you. My drink is done, y'all. Another unfortunate situation between Eric and Nakia. He admitted to doing it in front of people on an interview. I do think, though, he may have misread the sign. Yeah, I think it was a mixture of misreading the signs, and then because they've already gotten physical with each other, I guess he thought, you know, we vibe like this already. Like, what would be the need for consent? It's just the way that it's making it seem like he groped her inappropriate. That part, I'm just like, okay, witnesses, come out and tell us what happened, because this is what happened. Somebody tell us what happened. Can't wait for this season to be over so we can clarify the situation and move on. Bye, Romel. He also said he was drunk. That's true. He knew he effed up and it was a mistake, not done out of malice. I think Eric should just ask for forgiveness and say nothing else. No explanation, nothing else. That's what people forget in apologies. Your explanation sometimes can be taken as an excuse. So you apologize and you keep it pushing. Apologize and keep it pushing. He said that he lied in the reunion that he didn't actually touch her and then came clean in the interview that he did. I don't know why you would lie if it was a misunderstanding. That's not how I understood what he said. How I understood what he said was at the reunion, he still was unsure like exactly what it was that went wrong. And so after, somebody did talk to him and was like, no, you really did do that. And then he went and apologized to Dakia after the fact. That's how I understood it. I could have misconstrued it. If it was deep enough, I would go back, but honestly, I don't care that much. But then I feel like the reason why he was backtracking in the interview was because he was told the way that production was going to handle it was, hey, misunderstanding, let's just dismiss him and move on. Whereas they did kind of paint him as a perpetrator. So I could see why on his side it'd be like, bruh, what? Yeah. I do need the witnesses to come. Like yesterday, I need them to speak up. Yes, that's why I need the reunion to be over, because I know they have to be quiet for now. Get this reunion out here and let's get the story. Let's settle this. Let's settle this. Yeah, right? That's how I understood it. That's the crazy thing about perception, hey? We're all watching the same thing, yet our takeaways are completely different. It's crazy. Oh, this life. Life would be so much easier if we all just understood each other. So much easier. What time is it? Oh, wow. It's on. Wow. We already got to get off in 10 minutes. That's crazy. I don't believe anything I seen here from reality TV, I'm assuming. They pick and edit what they want you to see and hear. So I'm not going to press anyone from reality show that's who they are in real life. I'm with you. I'm with you. I see it the most with shows like Love Island. You know, Love Island is really hard to curate storylines because they have to create an episode every day, right? But even Kaz, the token black girl on the show, oh, they made her seem like a villain. And then on the unseen bits in the weekend, her name was completely exonerated. But the thing is, like, people already had to like vote, and they voted bad on her based on the storyline production gave her. And then come to the weekend, they're showing us the extra clips, and she didn't do nothing wrong. You know, it's so easy for production to make you see what they want to make you see. One show I would suggest for everybody to watch is Unreal. When you see how invested these PAs and these producers are in curating a story or even skewing perceptions of the cat, your mind will be blown. Your mind will be blown. Where are they basing the new season of Miami? Miami. That's gonna be a hot mess. And if it's gonna be a hot mess, I'd rather they lean into it. Don't give me, we are really optimizing connections this time. You say that every year. Just lean into the lean into it. Unreal is scripted, but it's created by I think it was a woman who used to work for The Bachelor, and it's her telling what she witnessed on shows like this. And I was like, yo, it really becomes these producers like identity, you know, because you like everybody gets assigned a person, they want to have a certain storyline, and it's like you're the best producer if you're able to really execute that, if you're able to get the messiest scenes, if you're able to get, you know, the most controversy. It's like a rush, right? And also you got to think about it. These people are given a stipend. A lot of people who apply for reality TV are either looking for a platform or, you know, so you're kind of going to do what you're going to do, what you want to do to get where you want to go. And think about it too. Sometimes you'll see somebody where they're not talking, but you're hearing their voice say stuff, or you'll hear a sentence and like part of the sentence will be like this, and then something will, and then it'll come back, and then it will, like, you can hear that they're piecing things together to make things sound like something that it's not. So I don't get fully invested in how people are portrayed on these shows. To me, I genuinely look at them as characters, and then I choose after the fact if I like them. That's why I like Tina. I follow her, she follows me back. I like her. I do. I hear that, I understand, but I never believed that someone could be a psycho as much as I believe Olivia was one from Married at First Sight, Australia. You'll be surprised. She seems so proud to have cut up that bridesmaid dress. I don't know. A lot of people do say, though, that a lot of the Australian people are actors, so that also might have played into it. Apparently, she lost her job and degree. Unbelievable. Can they take your degree? I don't think so. But losing the job, absolutely. She works with children. I would dismiss her as well. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm responding to my friend Rachel. Oh, y'all ain't said nothing. Y'all better speak up quick. We only got a few more minutes together. That's why I don't get so mad at people on reality TV or go to people's socials who I don't like and spread hate comments. I rant about them, yes, but never directly anything towards. Right? It could never be that serious for me. When I hear like, y'all need to stop sending me death, I'm like, death threats? Because you didn't like them on a show that was okay. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I feel like there's a difference between me coming on YouTube, y'all coming on and we talking kiki and in the comments, than actually going to these people's personal. Now, if somebody was like egregious to somebody on the cast, I low-key feel a little bit of vindication when people send things to like somebody's workplace. I'm like, you know what? That person didn't need to be working there anyway. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. But you know when like a Karen goes viral and then people look up her LinkedIn and stuff, I'm like, well, hey. But in terms of like the death threats and the all the y'all, it's television. All right. Yeah, I know the live's about to end soon, so I just wanted to say how much I appreciate these chats. I'm really an introverted person, but these lives are a comfortable way for me to end. Oh, Layla. I love your personality and the community you have created. I'm so proud of you. Let me tell you something about Layla. Layla, I'm gonna have to block you. I'm going to have to block you because you stay pulling at my heartstrings, whether it be on here or in my DMs, and I can't have it anymore. You're doing too much, but I love it. Keep going. I love you guys. You guys know this. Definitely going to try to be more consistent because I understand that this has become a community and some people really just love communing with each other. So it's bigger than me just being in a mood. And typically, even if I start a live in a mood, I end up being happy just talking to y'all. So I'm going to try my best to keep this consistent. That's extreme to me. It's like being in someone's home and cursing them out. Nah, I ain't doing that. Yeah, it's too much. Thank you, Sharice. Right back at you, babe. I actually used to believe that people lied about the death threats. I was shocked that it actually happened. Yeah, it actually so much so that now shows will even put out things like, hey, no hate, hey, like it's bad. And I wonder, these people who were going and doing death threats and stuff, I'm like, y'all was back in the day watching OG Real World and Bad Girls Club and all that kind of stuff, and y'all had no problem back then. Or maybe it's because social media wasn't big, so y'all didn't say nothing. But now that everybody has a voice on social media, you want to go and threaten people's life? Even with the Eric and Dakia situation, he was like, if y'all want to come for somebody, come for me. Do not go into my daughter's DMs talking about you're going to grope her, you're going to rape her, you're going to... Guys, that's insane. That's crazy. No. It's never that serious. And if it ever is that serious, people will deal with the authorities. Let the professionals handle it. Thank you, Lily. You guys. That's why I don't get why people leave hate comments or stalk them in real life, really. Y'all that invested to destroy someone's life based on something that is edited for entertainment purposes. And honestly, that's why a lot of people turn around and make a YouTube channel so that they can vindicate themselves. Because they're like, y'all gotta remember, the story was curated. I didn't get a choice to like think of what I wanted to say or and also think about it too. Sometimes you say stupid things in the moment and then retrospectively you feel another way. Reality TV doesn't always give you that kind of grace. When you say these crazy things, that's a money grab for them. Hey, booked and busy. Oh, we about to go. But hey, booked and busy. Like that's a money grab for them. Yeah, I didn't like that people went to his daughter's DMs. That's unhinged. That is unhinged. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like y'all know, it's 10 o'clock, which means it has been 2 hours. We gotta go. If ever I'm having more emotional breakdowns, you will be in the know. What's new over here? Yeah. What's happening this week on my channel? I'll see if I can finish watching 7 and 8 today so I can do a review tomorrow for Thing. What's the show called? Y'all know the show. And then I'll do 9. Oh, see, Wednesdays are tough Because that's when Married at First Sight comes. That's when I watch Survivor and Big Brother. I even missed Big Brother today just for y'all. That's how you know I love you. Temptation Island. Just... One day I'm going to abolish reviews on this channel because they're making my mind turn to mush, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my sanity. I'm losing my sanity off these shows. Oh my gosh. I don't watch other shows you review, but the channel is awesome. And my Friday night date for Ready to Love. For whatever reason you come here, it's appreciated nonetheless. Layla, you know what started the reviews on this channel? Survivor. Survivor started me doing reviews on this channel. But if I did a Survivor review now, nah. Y'all really like the dating shows, I've noticed. So yeah, Survivor's on the back burner, but I still watch it and love it. All right, y'all. Deuces.